It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Happy Friday, everybody. Good morning to you. Hope you wrapping up the weekend strongly. As
I feel like I'm strong. I feel good.
Yeah. Well, you have an Iron Man hat on, so you're telling everybody you're strong.
This is what I look like without a hat right now.
No. Put your hat back on. It's cute.
I know.
But just in case anybody's wondering, you are an Iron Man. So
I see what you're doing now. You're making fun of me.
I'm not making fun. I'm
hit me. It just dawned on me what was happening.
I'm pointing out what your hat says. You're an Iron Man.
You're a nerd. Go.
You
Go.
Finished 70.3 mile races on a routine basis. It's not even a big deal. All right, in the news,
turning red. Just go.
Oh, you're good. What's next for the property at Sunshine and National? Boy, how many times have we asked this? And we still don't know. Developers there have been back to the drawing board a couple of times already over the last couple of years. Now they are back to the drawing board again. A major rezoning hurdle has been cleared on their end in court. So now is which plan are they going to move forward with, or maybe a new plan altogether? Who knows? Developers with Be Kind and Merciful LLC first proposed an apartment. You remember this, an apartment building with a commercial development, mixed use space, retail and restaurant downstairs. Then they had one with a boutique grocery store and retail space. Then they had the idea of a food hall and pickleball courts at the corner of Sunshine and National. Now they are kind of reevaluating, clearing the table, as it were, to figure out something that they want to do. Since a judge recently gave them permission to move forward on that 2.6 acre lot. So I know that they made a lot of those changes to try to win over residents and try to work with residents who didn't like the tall apartment building, 5 stories, and so they lowered it. And they've done things to try to win over the residents. It hasn't seemed to work very well.
Yeah, which, by the way, they still are. They're like coming up with like the newest thing now, trying to win over residents. Like they want to be a good fit, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Which is, when you're dealing with lots of people, it's tough to please everybody, but maybe they can get to where they can please a lot of people or most people, or because I think the people in the area are probably coming to the conclusion that, okay, something's going in there because the judge ruled and it looks like something's going in there. So let's see if we can work with them and get something that at least we're
excited about or could get excited about. Yeah.
And maybe it could be part of the neighborhood. Maybe they end up walking over there on a Friday night and having dinner at a nice outdoor restaurant or something. Who knows? Stay tuned. Higher food prices means the price of school lunches could very likely go up. School districts in Willard, Republic, and Ozarks say lunch prices could go up by about 10 cents for the coming school year, which, 10 cents, that's pretty good. The Ozark School District, for one, will also be looking at raising tuition prices for the Tiger Paw Early Childhood Education Center because you can only absorb higher costs for so long, and eventually, as a business or anything else, you got to pass them along.
Mm-hmm. All right. Did you hear about this? 15,000 car dealerships across the country are kind of figuring out what to do after an attempted cyber attack or two. Couple of attacks. The dealership's management system, which handles car sales, service, accounting data, all of those had to be taken offline after the 2 cyber attack attempts. So with that, a lot of car dealers now don't have access to all the information like your customer history, car history, your car service appointments. So you can get help at your dealership. But if they use the specific software that apparently 15,000 dealerships use, it's just going to take you a lot longer because they're having to do everything by hand.
The old-fashioned way.
The old-fashioned way. And then eventually they have to like re-input the data back into the system. But in other words, it's slow. So be be patient, I guess, is the advice. Missouri's unemployment rate was up in May. Last month, the jobless rate was 3.5%. That is up from 2.9% in May of last year. Overall, though, we did see some pluses. There was some growth in industries, including leisure and hospitality, trade, transportation, and utilities.
All right. The city of St. Louis is being sued over, remember, we told you about this. It's a Guaranteed Basic Income Initiative. The program pays cash some lower income families $500 a month for 18 months. Challengers to that provision say it violates the state constitution as well as the St. Louis City Charter. The suit claims a state constitutional provision bars local governments from giving out public money, taxpayer money, or property to, quote, any private individual, which is what the city seems to be doing here. So that's going to proceed in court. We'll see what happens, because these days you never know what's going to happen in court. If you're looking for some family fun this weekend, and who isn't, frankly, how about checking out the Sertoma Duck Race Festival in Findlay River Park down in Ozark. It's always fun. It's a good time. Lots going on there. It runs today and tomorrow. Food vendors, craft show, pie eating contest, cornhole, live music, the duck race, the works.
The list goes on and on, too. There is a lot happening. I saw the flyer, and it was a long flyer. So there is truly something for everyone. Yeah,
a couple of the highlights are the hot air balloon glow, which is tonight at 9:00. We used to love that when our kids were little, and we'd go see that. It was actually not too far from where we used to live.
And then pictures.
And then fireworks tomorrow night down there at Findlay River Park. Parking ain't easy in that area.
The fireworks, because we lived close enough that I could hear the fireworks that start at 9 p.m. And I was in bed because at the time I anchored the weekend morning show. And I would have to get up early. And I was like, turn off the fireworks, Cursing
the fireworks, yes.
No, I didn't curse them. I didn't. But I did want them to turn off. All right. Also, this weekend, tomorrow is the Taste of SoMo from 11 to 3 at Park Central Square. You can go around and sample all the different foods and taste Southwest Missouri, if you will, and then you get to vote on your favorite dish. There's all the information, ticket information at tasteofsomo.com. So check that out online. Yep. And then finally, it is Pink Flamingo Day at the zoo. You can get $2 off general admission this weekend. There is a flamingo obstacle course, a pink drink for sale in the cafe, a flamingo photo booth, a special flamingo keeper chat, at 2:00 tomorrow, and then all kinds of activities. So should be a great time.
They're doing good work over there at the zoo, coming up with good things to attract people.
I know they have a lot of whoever their marketing person is pretty great. It's pretty great.
We haven't been over there for the Pink Flamingo thing. It's the first I've heard.
Yeah,
of it,
it's been a minute since I've been to the zoo. I prefer safaris. That's all. Just kidding. I mean, not really. I'm not actually kidding, but you know what I mean. Once you go on a safari, it's kind of hard to go to the zoo.
Oh, you're talking about a real safari in Africa.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yes, I am.
Just to be clear, people know what you're talking about.
Or just, driving along the road, not technically on a safari, but there's a elephant, just eating some grass.
I remember those days. Wild giraffes we saw a couple of times.
Yeah, wild giraffes and the whole nine. All right, y'all, happy weekend. It's exciting that it's Friday, and we hope that you have a really good one. It's going to be hot.
Have a great weekend. And we'll see you back here on Monday and find out what happened over the weekend. See you.
Yeah, actually, it is actually going to be hot, so you might want to check on your neighbors, because for real, it's going to be hot this weekend, and then also during the work week of this upcoming week. So brace yourself.
That's news jargon.
Your mic cut out. It's probably good, because I feel like you were mouthing me about something. Something about news jargon, checking on your neighbors. That's the truth. Okay, bye. Have a good one.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Friday. It was a short work week for many of us with the celebration of the Juneteenth holiday on Wednesday. Yesterday, summer officially began in the Ozarks and everywhere else with the summer solstice. And now we are talking about summertime feels all weekend long. Heat and humidity on the rise. And this morning, temperatures as of 5 o'clock are at about 70 degrees. You can expect a south breeze in the forecast today. And I think most of us stay rain-free. Now, with summertime, we have heat and humidity around. So I can't totally rule out one of these summertime pop-up showers or thunderstorms later today, but I think that will be the exception rather than the rule. Most just stay dry, hot, and humid, so all summertime plans are a go for today, and that will hold true through most of the weekend weather forecast as well. There's a lot happening, though, in the Ozarks, and we have got some hot weather to suffer through all of the weekend events heading our direction. High temperatures will make it to the 90s today. I have about 90 degrees in Springfield. Feeling warmer than that pretty much all day, though. We have this heat index value that will be approaching 100, and heat and humidity only intensify as we get into the weekend forecast. So when you look at the surface map across the country today, things look pretty quiet for us here in the center part of the country. We are securely under a ridge of high pressure, which means heat, humidity, and a south breeze that's not too heavy today. All the activity is still located up in the northern tier of the country where this frontal boundary is kind of laying across our northern states. It's become stationary. So once again, I think the thunderstorm activity today will be in the northern portion of the U.S. Of course, we've also have remnants of a tropical system that continue to dump some rainfall down in Texas and much of the Gulf. I don't think that's going to impact us here in the Ozarks, but we're kind of in between these two systems, and we should just remain hot and summer-like through the course of the afternoon. I mentioned heat index values today could approach 100, and I think through the weekend, this gets a bit worse. We're going to have to start looking at the heat advisory criteria for Saturday and Sunday as heat index values approach 105 degrees. This can be dangerous heat. So if you have anything going on outdoors, it's just absolutely essential that you find a way to cool off this weekend and protect yourself from the sun. UV index is also supposed to be off the charts with numbers approaching 11, which is the top of the scale. It means burn time in less than 10 minutes. Remember, apply sunscreen. SPF 30 or higher is best, and the reapplication every 2 hours is really key. Wear lightweight, loose-fitting clothing, and that's going to keep you a little bit cooler than if you were wearing dark clothing. And remember to take regular breaks in the shade. Plenty of water. Avoid alcohol. Beverages with electrolytes are always good in temperatures and humidity that's this warm. It prevents against some of that heat stress. And of course, check on your neighbors. Don't forget the pets. It's too hot for them to walk in the heat of the day. So morning walks, evening walks, and even then sidewalks may still be a bit on the warm side. Weak frontal boundary is going to head our direction as we head into tomorrow night. So Saturday night into Sunday morning, I've inserted at least a mention for some scattered showers. I don't see any severe weather chances with this, but some showers would be welcome. It'll at least cool the temperature off a bit for tomorrow night into Sunday morning, but I don't think the showers last long. We may wake up with some rain on the radar on Sunday morning. There may be some thicker cloud cover, and then conditions will likely just continue to heat up as we head through Sunday afternoon. The weekend forecast is looking hot. Today, I have 90 in Springfield, heat index closer to 95 to 100. Tomorrow, high temperature, about 93 degrees. And by Sunday, it's 96. So the heat's getting worse and worse each day. This heat and humidity will also likely continue into the early parts of next week with daily chances for some pop-up showers and thunderstorms. That chance is going to remain at about 10 to 30% chance each and every day through the weekend. So it's one of those situations where you should just throw the umbrella, the rain gear in the car with you. It likely won't happen, but pop-up thunderstorms are going to be possible in this forecast because of the nature of the air mass being so loaded with humidity. I expect that we will see conditions that just linger with the heat through the rest of the month. I'm expecting this hot and humid pattern with almost these daily isolated rain chances in the forecast. Thunderstorms continue today for the southern high plains and the Four Corners. That's where they could have some intense rainfall up along the northern tier of the country. That's where I mentioned that frontal boundary is located. Also, the other national headline that's going to happen in the forecast this weekend is, of course, the heat wave that we're feeling here in the Ozarks, but it is more intense and perhaps more historic up in the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, and portions of the Northeast. That happens over the weekend, and it intensifies out in the West too. So much of the country getting in on some of the heat and humidity. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister Trivia question for the day, sponsored by Scooters Coffee. Here's the question that I left you with yesterday. It has to do with Scotland. What is the national animal of Scotland? The options were A, a sheep, B, a horse, C, a lion, or D, a unicorn. It seems like the most unlikely choice, but yes, the answer is D. A unicorn is the national animal of Scotland. I did not know this until I was developing this question. Why, might you ask, is Scotland's national animal a unicorn? Well, this dates back to the 15th century when they were deciding on an animal to represent the country, and with its white horse-like body and single spiraling horn, the unicorn is often seen as a symbol of purity, innocence, and power. And that's a lot of the Celtic mythology. So legend tells that their horns can purify poisoned water and it can give them strength with healing power. They thought this aligned with Scotland as a country. So to this day, the national animal of Scotland is D, a unicorn. Congratulations. If that was your guess, all correct answers entered into a pool to win a $20 gift card to Scooters Coffee. That's given away every single day here on Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. Here's your next chance to win. This is the question that I will answer for you on Monday. Which of these in the list, which U.S. president is estimated to have the highest IQ? Do you think it is A, John Quincy Adams, B, Thomas Jefferson, C, Woodrow Wilson, or D, John F. Kennedy? You can submit your guess. That's at aroundtheozarks.com. While you're there, you can check out all the other contests happening and find up-to-the-minute weather information all weekend long. Thank you so much for listening this morning, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Thanks also to Rescue Towing and Scooters Coffee for sponsoring Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. Have a great weekend. We will chat again early next week, and stay cool this weekend.